Hi, I'm CJ Fairfield, Senior Associate Editor at CRN. I'm here in Washington, D.C. at our Exchange August event with Douglass and Melvin Williams. Guys, thanks for being here with me. And today we're talking about AI and leadership and culture. So John, I want to start with you. How are you talking to employees about AI as it's an opportunity and not a threat?
Well, I'm just trying to train up my employees, and let them feel empowered into using the technology, and we have to embrace it. We can't just stay mundane and stay in apps. So we have to use the technology.
What about you, Melvin?
One of the things that AI has enabled us to do is to look at every process that we run within the organization. So from the leadership team, we sat back and we said, how can we empower our staff, right? What can we do more with the AI that we have? So from part of our process with our staff has really been looking at the processes in our operation and how we can use artificial intelligence to increase that and have our employees more productive.
So has AI changed the skills you look at for when you're hiring or upskilling your team?
Yes. We're looking for young talent, people that are native to using computers as the first thing that they got, with kids. So artificial intelligence has caused us to look at new employees and the way that we go about getting those employees and how they can articulate. That kid that is doesn't speak a lot or doesn't talk a lot. We're looking for that type of talent, right? Because we know that type of talent can prompt the AI and can get stuff done. So we've definitely changed the way that we want from having a person that was more dominant in a personality type to some more adverse people.
John, so how do you make sure AI strengthens your team?
By going through and just having them talk to one another, and see what they're doing, share prompts, share their experience. As all of us are going through the process, we're all learning. So just, empowerment, with the team and just having let you go.
Well, empowerment comes to mind because there's a lot of fear around AI. So how do you build confidence in your team when they're using AI?
Just by execution, by them doing it and having somebody else look over maybe what they've done, or, just by that conversation amongst it in the office and amongst the team. They're talking to one another, and as they get confident in their prompting skill, then they're getting the answers that they need.
What about you, Melvin? How are you building confidence in your team?
So there was an opportunity with Claude for you to become a partner. And one of the things that we did early on is we signed up for a Claude partnership. And what that did is that gave us about 10 licenses, the ability to get 10 people from our staff certified in artificial intelligence. So to get our team confident, we've been having them use it. We've been having them go to the Claude University, and we're getting them certified so that as the Claude partner program expands, we're using that as a resource to allow our staff to get really proficient in artificial intelligence.
So the basic question is, how do you think leadership changes in an AI-driven world?
We have to have a conversation with each other about what more we can do with our processes. Um, yes, we need to keep our RMM, right? We need to keep our PSA, but what other operational things can we build within our organization using AI that makes us a more nimble organization? It gives us the ability to grow and to scale using artificial intelligence versus necessarily looking for a vendor first. What can we do in-house to strengthen our organization before we go out and find vendors to partner with?
What do you think, John? How does AI strengthen leadership in this AI-driven world?
I think as we are in empowering our teams, going back to empowering, just empowering them to use the technology, and from the leadership team, embracing the change. And I echo what Melvin was saying.
So what skills matter more now as AI has become part of the workflow?
I look at aptitude. Are they able to learn and stuff? And so, whether it's going to be a younger workforce potential, but there's a lot of us older ones that that are still able to get out and learn and plan prompt.
What do you think, Melvin? What skills matter more now?
Aptitude is definitely one that's very high on the list, but for us, it's innovation. Those that aren't afraid to innovate, we're looking for people like that to bring a part of the staff because we know that as technology grows, we're going to be able to vibe code. We're going to be able to speak to the artificial intelligence and tell it what we need to do. And we need people that think outside the box that can bring those expertise to our organization as we grow.
And so What leadership habits have you had to rethink because of AI?
We have this motto that we're going to use it before we sell it. So from a leader standpoint, I've had to go back to school. I've had to learn about artificial intelligence. So I had to be the first person to buy into artificial intelligence into our company, and then everything trickles down from that. So I'm literally going back to conferences. I'm literally learning. I'm taking the certification through Claude myself.
How about you? Last question, John. How do you think the habits have changed with as a leader with AI?
I think that, just, again, learning myself for it, and learning and leading, from the start. I'm having to teach myself and get myself caught up in so that I can teach the team and lead them down to the future.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. For more information on the Exchange event, head to Exchange Digital Newsroom and crn.com.